happening,
on?
Satchmo, man?
What's
It's been a
happening,
long
man?
time coming, man. It's been a long time coming. Man, we supposed to did this a year ago, 2 years ago. But this guy, y'all, he's always busy. He always busy. But we at it now. I finally got you on the line. The man, the myth, the legend.
What's going on, man? What's going
What's
on?
happening, man?
Yeah,
Nothing
we
much,
we've been
man.
trying to coordinate this for a minute now. And what's crazy is that we talk a lot. we
We
talk a
talk
lot.
a lot.
We talk a lot for the past, I don't even know how long. But when it comes to coordinate this seemed like it's just been elusive, very elusive.
Man, I get it, man. Hey, you're a busy man, family man, entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Wearing all these hats. Well, what Kevin Gates say? He got 6 jobs, ain't it? Full time father. You know what I'm saying? You got a career, etc. Hey, I
Six
get it,
jobs, two phones, everything.
man. I get it. I get it. But yeah, man, I've been wanting to chop it up with you for a minute, man. And the title of this video, I had to change my mindset. Of course, this is episode one. You my first guest on the channel. I'm gonna be trying to chop it up in the near future with other entrepreneurs in the space, and it don't matter what they're doing, rather it's landscaping, you know. Tile and flooring. I just want to bring other business-minded people who understand a lot that's going on in this today's economy to just have open conversations because especially like men like yourself, man, you came from the banger, the bottom. Oh man. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get on here and chop it all with you, catch a session and stuff like that. But I just want to, I think a good piece to start out with is you know what helped you develop your skill set to get into entrepreneurship. I think it's a good starting point for our questions because you know I know a little bit of your history, far as well, I know all your history about what you went to, far as entrepreneurship and being a business owner, etc. But there's some background information that I feel like is essential to your success today, and I feel like that's your career field. You want to speak to that a little bit on how you started and how'd you get into entrepreneurship?
Okay, so the title of the video. Repeat the title of the video again. You say I had to
I had to
change my
change my
mindset, right?
mindset. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the
Okay.
title.
I had to change my mindset.
What's
So
going on, Nessie? What's happening, y'all? Say what's up to the
what's up?
chat, man. They starting to
What's up,
join.
man? What's going on, y'all? What's Nessie? I think the only person I see right now. But what's up, y'all, man? Like like we said, we've been trying to do this for a little minute now. So I'm finally on here. We're gonna have some fun tonight, talk about some stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
the title is I had to change my mindset. So when you just said that, the first thing that came to my head was that my first business, I had no clients for the whole first year. I had nothing for the whole first year. And then I realized that, okay, I got to change up what I was doing. So I ended up becoming my first client in a sense. So I have a bookkeeping business. So for the whole first year, I had no clients. And what I ended up having to do was change my mindset and get into something that I somebody had been telling me about, but I never want. I was like, I'm okay. That doesn't seem like me. But I ended up creating a business to do the books of that business so that I could then have books for my bookkeeping business. Like it was crazy, but I had to change my mindset. I was going on and trying to find customers, trying to find clients to get some experience outside of just the practicing stuff. Like there's a lot of good resources out there where you can practice books, but it's like until you have that real world experience, it's not the same, and it's just not. And so I had to create another business to just get some books to be able to start to learn. So that's what
Okay,
I thought
okay.
about when you first said that question.
I like the name of your business. I think that's really cool and it holds sense to who you are. You picked the perfect name to match your personality. Your business name is Engineered Bookkeeping. Engineered Bookkeeping. That is a lot in itself. Far as everybody know what an engineer is, you're an engineer, right?
Right? right.
You know what
I
I'm
don't.
saying? And it makes sense to why you chose that name, but being able to make sure people have their books lined up, it's a lot of components that go into it. What's going on, Makio? We're talking about this. This is my friend in life, my buddy, my brother, etc. We're just talking about entrepreneurship, and the title of the video is "I had to change my mindset." So we were really just talking about it's a little bit of a I think I will leave. Hey, hit the road. What's going on, Uriel? What's happening? But anywho, don't get too caught up with the comments. It'll be people coming in, it'll be people going out. But I think you picked the perfect name to match your personality. Engineer bookkeeping. So I would assume that being that you're into bookkeeping, do you have like a passion for finance? Like what drive you to have even a passion for finance? Because bookkeeping is finance. I would assume.
Yes, so I do have a passion for finance. And I am an engineer by trade and by profession, by scholar, all those things. I do have a bachelor's in civil engineering. So, the way I've kind of always went about things is I always believe that that you should be building on what you already have. I don't really like to reinvent myself or do things like completely start over. I always feel like
Yeah.
let's build on what we already got there. So like engineer bookkeeping, I took two things, put it together, and kind of still kept it as one because once I became an engineer and got into the engineering field, um, and I was actually it was actually in college where I kind of realized more of the love for finance because I had some finance courses that we had to take as well. And so it just kind of things continue to build on each other, like I was just saying earlier. Um, so in class, I almost like switched it up. I was that intrigued by the finance courses, but I stayed true because I don't like to start something and I don't finish it. But once I got all the way through, I started thinking of okay, what can I get into that I can start without jeopardizing my goals and everything that I've already worked towards as far as being an engineer. And so I was like, well, you know what? After some research, I was like, oh, I can start a bookkeeping business, and it can actually be like a part-time business to my main thing. And so that's what led me into it. And I do still study more things of finance like you do. I do. I'm into um, I'm gonna be brief though. I'm into trading, but stock
Okay.
investments, some crypto. I do own a home, so I do follow what's going on in the mortgage and the finance markets and mortgage rates and stuff like that. Um, so I try to I try to stay versed in this world.
I like it. Seem like you were definitely diversified in your investments there. Oh man. So just for a low level, somebody at a beginning level entrepreneurship, when it comes to bookkeeping, what have you learned early on? Once you started, your alternative business to actually have some books to manage, what did you notice that was something that uh, was more useful to the market? Like people need bookkeeping. Like what it made you assume that there was a big need for that?
Um, I would say what I learned was that if you're not good with managing your personal money, you're not going to be good with managing business money. And it's because like we think that bookkeeping is only something that's a part of like a business, but it's something that's a part of like your personal life. I've always been somebody who also used like spreadsheets and stuff in my personal life, my personal finances. So when it came to switching over and understanding the importance of managing someone else's books, it was easy for me to kind of put myself in the place of that person and be like, okay, when I'm sitting down and I'm reviewing my own books, where do I usually start from? Okay, I usually start from the top of the month, top of the year, top of the week, or
Yeah.
top of the day, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Like top of the day could be something, could be like a project that went on for that entire day. So you start at the top and be like, okay, where did Um,
Man, it was a big hawk that's landed right next to me. A big hawk. My bad, bro. It landed and it saw me and it flew, but guys, that was a big old hawk. Oh, I'm going.
yeah,
Okay, my bad
yeah,
for it. My bad. It
but
flew next to
but
me, and I was like,
yeah,
"What?"
but yeah. So it's just you wanna start at the top of whatever your time frame is, but usually because you got to know where you're starting from so you can know where you're trying to get to. And that was like one of the biggest things with talking to different clients and stuff. And you ask them questions because you kind of got to figure out how much they know and how much they don't know. And because you can easily get lost into, like, once you like deep into a profession, you can forget what a novice level is. You can forget what someone just coming in doesn't know, and what they do know. And so that's something that you kind of have to have like some certain questions in place to where you're not you're kind of bringing yourself back each time you're talking to somebody. But when I was talking to those new clients, that's what I realized. And I'll ask them about questions about their personal life. Hey, how much structure do you have with your personal finance? And they'd be like, well, I just pay all my bills and then whatever's left over, that's what I have left over. And if you do that in your personal life, you're gonna do that in your business as well. And there's more trouble to get into in in the business life if you're doing it that way. And so that was the main thing is you got to be a good steward of your money, of your personal money, and also a good steward of your business finances.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, okay. But yeah, man. So it seems as if everybody keep popping in, coming in, going out. We're talking about money, guys. We're talking about having a different mindset as an entrepreneur, and some of the decisions that we've had to make that you know helped us as we've been in entrepreneurship. So that's the context of the video. For the guys who's coming in, joining out. What up, Russia? What's happening? What's going on with you, man? But
Russia in the building.
Russia in the building, man. Russia in the building, man. But yeah. So I like myself. I'm just talking about a little bit of my history, as far as one of the things I feel like I had to overcome, as far as mindset. As you know, I work for many different companies in the corporate world, but I've been a hustler from day one. I remember, like when I was younger, my mom used to throw a lot of like bake sales, fish fries. I wasn't thinking about all of the skills that was being added on to me at a very early age. Less than 10, I'm 8, 9 years old. I'm out, at a bake sale, fish fries, speaking to customers, giving people flyers, etc. And we're generating income. So I learned a lot of those early on skill sets of engaging with people. So customer service came pretty early in my life. And even as a kid, I used to like Pokemon, right? I used to collect cards. But as I was getting older, I wanted to make money. I wanted to generate income. So I used to go to a local flea market where I live, and I used to sell those Pokemon cards. I used to find where people go by the booths, right? They go by the booths where the cards were, and they'll look at them. I'll see them looking at Pokemon. I was like, okay. Once they will leave that booth, because I'm not gonna stop shop. I'm not gonna go over to the people booth and disrespect them. I'm gonna wait till they leave and walk away, and I'm gonna come over there with my binder and I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna be flipping, and they're gonna be amazed about all the holographics and all the stuff I have. And I used to sell cars like that, $20 a pop. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good money at a very early age. And it's skills that I was taking on early on that made me to where I'm at today. Fast forward, let's say, from childhood to adult life. I was at, I've had jobs. I used to work at Foot Locker. That was one of my first jobs. My mom owned a restaurant, of course. I've all every job that I ever worked will compounded onto the skill set that I have to this day. Every job. There's nothing that I didn't learn from where I was placed at in the corporate world, whether that's Foot Locker, whether that's my mom's restaurant, whether that's Coca-Cola, whether that's FedEx, Snyder, even the temp service that I work with. I've always took notes and learned something from those places that compounded to where I'm at today. My mindset changed when I started getting to work at these corporate places and see how much money they were willing to pay me. Um, You speak very quickly. I can't understand, bruh. I try to slow it down, big dog, but anybody who watches the channel, they usually can follow what I'm saying. I don't think I'm talking too fast, but I can slow it down for you. No, no, but working in multiple places, like let's say Coca-Cola, for instance, that was a job where they paid roughly around 70K annually. They paid for your car, they paid for your phone bill, stuff like that. Was like, man, this company is paying me a lot of money. And then I realized how much time that I was losing. Like I got married, right? I had a newborn, I had my son, and I noticed how much I wasn't home. Like I start at 5 a.m. in the morning, and we start at with a meeting. After that meeting, we supposed to start our routes and go out and put orders in, speak to district managers, store managers, etc. Starting at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. And we're usually supposed to get off around 4 or 5 o'clock, right? It's a salary based position. It's not, an hourly paid position. So in reality, you can work 100 hours. It doesn't matter, right? So what I noticed is I was investing so much time and I was letting so many life events pass by, like not being able to attend family events, not go to Florida, etc. And I'm like, man, they paying me a decent amount of money to forget about my dreams, my lifestyle that I desire to live. So my mindset changed a little bit when I learned that my life wasn't panning out the way I wanted to, far as time. Like I got money, but I don't have time to be to no events. I was like, man, I got to do something different. I got into entrepreneurship. I got into lawn care, and this was encouraged by one of my cousins, of course. You know what I'm saying? He in the streets, you know what I'm saying, in the trenches. And he actually was trying to figure a way out of the streets, you know what I'm saying? And he launched a lawn care business. And back then I was like, wasn't thinking like it was like a legit thing because it was just a lawn care business. But in reality, it was his exit out of the game. It was his exit out of the game. He was going to leave the streets because he got this lawn care business and it was doing well. He had government contracts, he had commercial, he actually was doing fairly well. He had a decent amount of people that was actually servicing these properties without him. And it gave him an exit out of the streets, be real. So when I moved up to, South Carolina, I took it as a second chance, second opportunity to, hey, you know what? Let me go for what I know. My cousin was into this. Let me see how this works. And I ended up liking it. I ended up generating income, etc. Because I have a what's going on, Billy? I got to shout out Billy every time he join in, y'all, because Billy join almost every live stream. Shouts out to Billy, man.
Billy
Hey,
Plum.
Billy Plum. Hey Billy, this is sad. This is what's hard about money. You talked to him a previous time on a few other lives. But I was saying, let me get back on track. I was looking for an exit out of the game, not the game, but exit from the corporate world of actually working at Coca-Cola. And I was like, you know what? Let me try something to, if they're willing to pay me 70K and take all my time away, maybe I can invest in myself and try something. And let's see how it works. Let's see if it works out. And first year, I started in like October. I mowed one customer's yard for free. I picked up four of the neighbors. Four of the neighbors. I had a marketing strategy when I went into it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find this corner lot. People are gonna see me working, and they're gonna want their yard mowed too. That was my thought process, and it worked exactly like that. I mowed that one yard and picked up four neighbors, and from that, it gave me a proof of concept. Hey, if I just invest in myself and actually continue to try, everybody might not say yes, but what I just did shows that I can bring money in without actually having to work at a corporate job. And that was an eye opener to me. I'm like, man, so you mean to tell me it's millions of entrepreneurs and people out here that's really generating their own money like this and supporting their families, being able to pay their bills? That was an eye opener for me. And I was like, I kind of like this. So the biggest part that I liked about it was my freedom of time. And being that I worked at a corporate world like, Pizza Hut as a manager, Coca-Cola, they have rules and things in place for a reason. That's what I learned. hey, they want you to clock in at a specific time, work a specific amount of hours because it helps the shift go the way it's supposed to. Um, and when I got introduced to this entrepreneur world, I was like, you know what? I control my time. What I wasn't thinking about is how the discipline that was required to be able to maintain the times that, like, instead of me punching in on a clock, I'm the person that's the clock basically. I start whenever I start. You know what I mean? But I had to put some strict guidelines so I can actually build a business to where I can actually have other people come in and respect what I've already created. But to even get that far and even starting stuff, it took me to have to change my mindset on, hey, there's opportunity out here, and long as you willing to grind to get it, is there for you. And from there, I was like, man, the sky's the limit. I don't have a cap. I don't have a 70K cap for my position, and I don't want to have to work, from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. at night to get it. I'm
It's
in
no
full
cap,
control.
but there's
There's
no
no cap.
floor either.
No.
But there's no floor either.
Hey, that's right. There's no cap, but there's no floor either. Ain't nothing holding you but yourself. So that was a big, 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 big deal, man. Big deal. Who is
Don't
this?
worry,
How?
don't just keep reading.
No, man.
They being stupid in the comments,
Man, this is wild, man.
man.
But yeah, man, it's been amazing though, man. It's been a blessing. And it's been a long road. It's not entrepreneurship is not easy. Um, as you're like year
Yeah,
one, it might not be as busy. I was blessed because I did put the effort in. I was blessed year one to do have some exponential growth, but I start to learn what happens with growth as well. You can grow too fast sometimes, y'all. And if you're not prepared for it, if you can't, if you're the main person that is the reason why things are working, and you get sick for 2 weeks or have to go on a vacation for a family event
or
or
break your
whatever,
foot.
break your foot or something, you better buckle up because you're going to have a lot of angry people that you're not able to fulfill services, and that can be part of your reputation taking a hit. So watch exponential growth early on and make sure you're scaling in a way where you're profitable. So it's a lot of lessons, but I ain't gonna get into the weeds, man. I just wanted to kind of give people an overview because I have conversations sometimes within certain lives, but being that this thing that I'm doing right now is trying to make sure I'm staying on entrepreneurship conversations and speaking to with other business owners and other like-minded individuals. I'm gonna try to keep it more focused. Uh, but as far as this year, how are you doing this year, and what are you expecting this year as far as your business, the growth like? And you did mention something about. I do want to touch on crypto because you mentioned it, and I'm just curious of like what are you thinking of what it's because I'm gonna be real, I'm not in tune with crypto. I don't know what's current. I don't know about the Bitcoin and if it's up or down. But I hear so much news. It's talk, somebody like yourself probably keep up with it a little bit better than myself.
I mean, yeah, I mean the biggest thing with crypto is it's new, and people don't like new things. People don't like new, and so when new things come about, I mean, and I say new as far as like it's not 50 years old, it's not 100 years old. Like it's still people kind of just breaking into it as far as it becoming a larger entity compared to the financial system that we already use. That's really just what it is. Like people put a lot of pressure on people. Like you see a lot of stuff online where they're trying to get you to do this and they're trying to get you to do that. And just look at it the same way as you look at the stock market. Like if you have the money, then you throw a little money in here and there and just learn if you're willing to learn. If not, you can just stay out and wait on it to become more regulated because it is chaotic at times. But um and people
Would
say it's a scam and different things like that, but it's like maybe before in the early days you probably felt like it was a scam, but it's like turn on CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, all of them, they're talking about it. So how much of it could be a scam if like if they're talking about this as much as they're talking about it? Like they're actually trying to figure out how to implement it and incorporate it into the financial systems uh, in the future.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking at it. I see so much, different information depending on which platform. There's so many news networks talk about it in so many different ways. It's just I don't know what to expect. It's hard to be in tune with it, but um, I do have some Bitcoin. I invested in some of it like some years ago. It wasn't back in the early 2012s or nothing. I ain't got no crazy amount of flock like that. I did have an account um, back in 2017, 2018. I need to go look at my account to be real because I'm pretty conservative when it comes to certain type of investments. Of course, when it comes to like long term stocks and stuff like that, like the Apples, the Amazons, those are long term. Bitcoin, of course, that's something that's long term, but I do need to look at it to see if it has any type of growth going on. I at one point, as you know, I used to be in stocks a little bit. I used to play around with stocks. Used to do day trading, and it's very high maintenance, very high maintenance. I got multiple screens in front of me looking at what's going up, what's going down. It's people do it by people make a living off of doing it, day trading, but that's not my way of investing nowadays because I work too hard for my money, so I like to hold on to it. I put it somewhere and let it sit, long term, but as far as just doing some impulsive investing. Nowadays, man, it's just so much information. Not to say it's a scam, but there's a lot of information that can get twisted in different directions. But yeah, man. So you got anything else to add, man? I just really this is just a kickoff conversation. We're gonna have multiple conversations. If we gotta make this like tippy toe, where we tapping base every week, you know what I'm saying, or every few weeks, it'll be a good thing. If we got to make it like Chad Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Ocho Cinco.
So
And
true.
speaking of Onk, what is going on with this guy? My gosh, what is your thoughts on that? Because I meant to ask you about
Yeah.
that earlier. What is your
So
thoughts on that?
so well, everywhere you go, a lot of people are talking about it in the sports world. And what I try to explain to people is like, uh, when you're an older gentleman like that, and most older gentlemen who are uh successful or have their financing in order, they have a budget for everything, and they have a gas budget, they have a gambling budget, they have a traveling budget, vacation budget, and then they have a fun budget. And every month they have x amount of money that they spend on fun, and it just so happens that who he was having fun with, you know you think that once you start having fun that you can kind of have as much fun as you want, and you know things get crazy, and then people are upset, and it
Yeah,
just goes from there. It spirals from there.
his entrepreneurship journey has been wild over the last few years. He made a lot of money off of Cat Williams with the interview that they did, but and it made him more valuable. But for him to fumble that bag, they said he had $100 million deal on the table. That's
Mhm.
the word on the streets. Well, everybody don't actually know if that's factual, but for him to lose that opportunity and get booted off the ESPN is wild. It's like, bro, you took a L, big L, off of
so
having fun, off of
so
having fun.
you say that, and then I'm going to tie back in what you were saying earlier, that when you step out into entrepreneurship, there's no cap and there's no bottom. So, so it's like there's way more checks and balances that you have to do that you're responsible for on your own when you step out here into entrepreneurship. Like you were saying earlier, like you have to think about that longevity. you gotta think about, okay, the goings, the getting's good this year. Okay, would I be able to replicate this next year? Am I gonna do I need to replicate this next year? Am I gonna be able to, how long am I going to be able to do this? You might, like, if you're, let's say you're 25 and you get an entrepreneurship, you might be able to run for 5 years, and you think that in that time, like, this is how it's going to be. But the minute you turn 30 and something changes, and you're like, man, I'm actually want to change up and do this. But you're in entrepreneurship to where you've created, well, you're the main focus, you're the main thing, and now you can't step out of it because you didn't prepare for the business to run without you. And so,
Yeah.
like, there's no cap, there's no limit. And so it's up to you to build those checks and balances with yourself. Time, money, money, time. Flip it however you want to flip it. It all boils down to that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, man. I try not to keep up with the media and what's going on in the celebrity world.
That's why I
But
hurry up and reeled it back just then.
yeah, it's pretty wild though what's going on. Another thing, man. Since you've been into your space in the entrepreneur space, my God, we are at a time right now, and I think this is a very useful thing that we should be having in reoccurring conversations. Technology is explosive right now to the point where, of course,
Yes.
AI, of course, everybody, ChatGPT, everybody, it's a normal thing, ChatGPT. But AI and incorporating it for businesses and things to help you with productivity, etc. Where have you found AI to be useful in today's age in your business?
Okay. So I just recently, like, there's a lot of them out here now, but I just recently came across, and I didn't tell you about this yet either. But
Oh,
yeah. So I had there's these apps and these platforms out here that you can use and create an app to kind of do whatever. Just like you can sit and talk with Chat GPT. They got apps that you can talk to now and create apps very similar. And so one of the number one um issues with bookkeeping in the entrepreneurship world, bookkeeping for entrepreneurs is receipts. Is trying to collect receipts and keep up with your receipts when you've got a lot of things going on day to day. So what I went and used that app to, I created an app that is made scanning your receipts easy. You scan your receipts and they good, and it's compatible with QuickBooks. So when I sat down with that app and I first heard about it, I said, okay, well, what in my business would what app could I use in my business that would help me and my customers? And I said, okay, no, I'm gonna start with something simple. I was like, and I thought about you as well. I say, uh, I know at the end of every year, Rob be saying he have like a box of a shoe box full of receipts,
oh
and
man.
he tries to, like, as he's going throughout it, he tries to just scan each day as he's getting receipts, but you just sometimes you just have to. You may be on the phone at the time, so you can't just scan the receipts. So it's different things. But I was like, I created an app just simply for scanning the receipts and getting them uploaded. And then once you scan the receipt in the app, it actually shows, like, it pulls the information out of the receipt and put it, like, right beside it. Costs, if you got the job number on there, all those different things pulls out right on side of it. So it's like just something that simple alone. It's like you're able to really create using AI, you're really to create your own tools for your business now. Like, there's, like, people think that uh people think that entrepreneurship has changed a lot because of AI, but what it's done is it's just sped up the process for you to be able to improve your processes. Because before, you're still got to get the receipt scanned and get them into something. You still got to collect those. But now I was like, you know what? I'm going to create me my own tool to do that versus trying to figure out how and set out the time to do that. But
So
man,
does it automatically, so when you do the scan, does it automatically categorize it based on conditional logic?
yes, yes, like it everything that's on the receipt, like it reads it and picks it up. So if you got Lowe's on there and you bought a shovel, then now and you have a lawn care business, then it knows, okay, Lowe's shovel. Then if it has a job number, it's like job number, 5702 if you use like the first four letters of an address or something. But like, yes, it does that. So, and this is not like I'm not trying to sell y'all nothing. This is just me telling y'all about an app. Like it's not even like on nothing, but it's just I was just messing with it to create a tool for my business to use and my
Yeah,
clients to use.
yeah.
So yeah,
Oh man, that sounds like something I need to check out.
yeah.
Speaking of that, though, speaking of that, because you hit on something. Uh, QuickBooks. You're very proficient, I would assume, as a bookkeeper when it comes to QuickBooks. Man, I tried to mess with QuickBooks many times, and I was like, my God, there's so many different things that's going on with it. Updates, this.
Mhm.
Is it a huge learning curve for somebody to learn QuickBooks, or do you think if somebody is busy with their business, they already got enough business going on, should they just hire a company to help them set it up and actually run it, show them how to utilize it? Because I'm just trying to spitball here because thinking of getting something else started, and I think I would need to have another bookkeeping system for it. What's your thoughts on new businesses, new entrepreneurs getting into the space, just in business in general? Go ahead.
Two things. Two things. You have to have the time to do it, and you have to have the desire to do it. Those two things. One of the two. You gotta have it. Because like from me learning QuickBooks, like I went through some of the YouTube channels that help you learn them and use it. Also don't pay that I went through a good bit of those when I was learning. And the thing about it is because QuickBooks, when they made the transition from QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online, it basically went like to a cloud-based system. So that means they can push out updates more often. So you could be learning from someone on YouTube for 6 months. And then when it's time for you to start implementing, you're taking on clients, they made an update 6 times since you started. And
Oh
now when
man.
you're in there, things are it's like it's little things that they could just be changed from a button being over here to the buttons being over here and being circles to the buttons being over here and now they're squares. And it's just like when you're working through it, it's just the little nuances like that makes it kind of curbs your confidence when you're going through it that you gain from going through all of that. So it's like you still have to sit and go through it so that you understand what you're doing versus just understand how to do it. So you gotta have the time to sit for hours and learn it, or you have to have the desire. So meaning that you really want to figure this out because your business is dependent on it. Or you got the time, just be like, okay, I'm finna sit here for the next 5 hours and I'm gonna just sit and insert, update, insert, update, and get an understanding of how it's going. However, though, QuickBooks, they do have a some very good modules inside of QuickBooks that you can learn and go through. That helped me a lot with learning it. But what helped me the most is actually doing books that were real books because now it's like you have something real world that you have to make it align with. It has to align with it. It's not fudge numbers. It's not fake numbers. And
Yeah.
so if because your question was for someone just getting into it or someone just getting into entrepreneurship, it's like before you can get organized and get one early, but if you don't have the transactions, the number of transactions in the beginning, there's no need to get a bookkeeper. Like figure it out yourself a little bit. If you've got uh I would say less than 100 transactions per month, maybe even less than that, maybe like 50 transactions per month. Yeah, probably 50 transactions per month or less. Learn it yourself. That's 50 breaks down to not that many a week or a couple transactions a day. And then you can kind of that repetition will help you figure out it, learn stuff, and then you can create the categories as you go through and as you get new things. But
Okay, okay. Not last question I wanted to ask you, and I don't want to take too much of your evening because I know you're a very busy man. We're gonna
mhm.
have some more future conversation. But you have a channel. It's called What's Hard About Money. What is your channel about?
So um what's hard about money, my channel? It is kind of a rhetorical question because the other day when I was on your live, in the comments I had responded or I said something and then somebody answered and was like, "What's hard about money?" And it was like nothing. You just gotta I forgot more of it, but it was like nothing's hard about money. And it's like that's kind of the reason I asked the question. Like what's hard about money to you? It could be nothing. It could be something. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't really matter what the answer is. There's no wrong answer, but let's talk about it. Basically, let's talk about it. What's hard about money? Um, I do like the acronym WHAM. So I do use the abbreviation WHAM with a question mark, but I tend to kind of just discuss whatever is on my mind that day or at the time about money. I may talk about credit some days. I may talk about buying a home some days. I may talk about um, talking with your teen kids or your kids about their finances. I may talk about relationship, husband wife talks with finances, just whatever. And it's because um there's so many different levels and so many different things to get into when it comes to finances, and there's really no wrong place to start from.
Yeah, I definitely highly suggest you guys go check out the channel. He got some long videos where he's talking about where he made some investments and what he's been doing with money since he became an adult, right? And I think it's pretty helpful. I see a lot of the short form content that you have when talking about different types of crypto and explaining them and stuff like that. That's stuff that kind of was foreign to me until I actually start catching up with some of your channel. What's going on, MTT Dub, man? What's happening, man? But yeah, if anybody haven't checked it out, go check out his channel. It's called What's Hard About Money. He talk everything finance. He just told you guys from relationship with your spouse, with kids. He talks about crypto, everything that he's actively and have experience with. He's not speaking on something that he don't know. He's talking only from his place of experience. So if he's talking about it, more than likely he's invested in the thing that he's talking about. So yeah, y'all check out the channel, man. I just wanted to definitely get him on here. It's been a long time I've been trying to get this guy. He's a busy guy. He's a civil engineer. He's always cooking. He's always y'all know what they say about engineers. the running the running joke is they always can find a problem with something because they're always trying to work on fixing something. They're figuring out how things work,
Oh,
right?
oh, my cup not in here. I got a
What's your
cup.
cup?
I
What you
check.
got a
I
cup?
check. No, I'll show you. I'll show you next time it's downstairs. But I got an engineering cup that is, and it got like the nutritional facts on the back of an engineer, and it's like a confidence, and it's like 1,000%. So I show it to you later. Yeah.
This guy, he said one time to me, he was like, he was like, just because somebody don't believe in themselves, he said, when I go somewhere or if I'm doing something, I feel like I'm the best thing going. He said, just because somebody else don't believe in themselves, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I thought that was so funny, man. It's so funny. I was
Yeah,
like, you know what,
and
you're right.
what's funny about that is I didn't even realize how, like, abrasive that was when I said it to the people that I said it. I was just being honest with how I felt, and then after I said it, I realized it hurt some feelings. But then I was like, "Well, you know what? Repeat just what I just said, because if I feel like I'm like it was actually in a shop that I worked in, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm the best thing y'all got here in the shop. And I was like, but that's how I feel. I was like, if you don't feel that way about you, that's on you. That's not on me.
That's real. That's real. Oh man. But yeah, man, I definitely wanted to get you on here. We don't kick it off, man. We don't had the conversation, but so I know got a lot of to, the world to have a conversation online. You know what I'm saying? This is I can look at in 15, 20 years and say, man, I remember that conversation. But I definitely want to make it able for you to out here because um, there's a lot of people out here that value some of these conversations. But we'll be having a lot more future conversations and talking about more so entrepreneurship, finance, etc. But I'll be bringing you in. We'll be having some more conversation. So this wasn't as complicated as you think, right? It was kind of smooth,
Yeah, I
right?
liked it. I liked it. It was smooth.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we'll have some future conversations, y'all. I'm gonna leave his channel down in the description of this video. You can check that out in the near future or after this. I'll be posting that, so you guys can check that out. But his channel is What's Hard About Money. Um, and I'm gonna be working on trying to get some of these episodes out every week, y'all. And these are gonna be live videos. The next one I got is, my buddy out of Kansas. I got a buddy out in North Carolina. I got a buddy out in Miami. There's a lot of people that I have a lot of conversations with, and I've already created the thumbnails. I was like, man, these days are gonna come, but I had to go reach out to number one. I was like, I gotta have him on there ASAP, so we can have a conversation. But I appreciate you, taking the invitation to get on, and we're gonna have some more conversations. Y'all check out his channel, What's Hard About Money, if you're trying to learn more about finance, crypto, etc. He's touching on a lot of those conversations. But I appreciate you joining, man.
All right, signing off. What's hard about money? Nothing. Y'all just gotta start flagging.
All right,
All right.
man.